Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel and to a new episode of Speaking Saturdays. So here we have a brand new set of questions and let's just get started. Part 1. Are there many airlines in your country? Again, I don't really know an official count, but I think there are a lot. I know there are at least there's this I guess there's 5 or 6 minimum that operate in the country and outside, or like they're local. Yeah. So I 5 or 6 that come to my mind. There's probably more. I don't know, but yeah. They're like I don't know if that's a lot. Like, do other countries also have like 5 or 6 national airlines? I don't know. I mean, is that a lot? I don't know because I mean, obviously, an airline is a very expensive endeavor, isn't it? I mean, airlines aren't cheap to run, so many, I honestly don't know if that's a lot or if that's a little. It's probably just the average. So, I mean, there are a good few airlines, but I don't know because I don't know much about the whole aviation system, okay? So, but like when I hear of airlines, like for example, Ryanair, right? Or like, whatever else, Southwest and JetBlue, etc. I mean, I think America has a lot of airlines. They have a lot of airlines, don't they? But obviously they're an outlier in other countries. I mean, I think we're at the top. I think my country is probably somewhere at the top for airlines. But yeah, that was an interesting question. Have you ever flown anywhere? No, not yet. Largely because I've just been in treatment all this time. But yeah, I probably will. Let's see. I was about to travel right before COVID hit, and then yeah, we all know what happened. So that ruined a good 2, 3 years. But no, not yet. Of course we've traveled, but we've used like trains and taxis and things like that. So yeah. Where would you like to fly? I mean, I have a lot of places on my bucket list. So yeah, I mean, I would say I was actually doing a lot of research a long time ago, and you can, as a normal person, you can go to Antarctica. So there's two ways you can fly, or you can go by ship, which is very scary to me because I don't like the idea of open water. So, I mean, of course, I'd like to fly to the usual destinations. And nowhere in particular, but like I've always been interested, what is it like to fly, for example, over the North Pole, or what is it like to fly over the South Pole or Antarctica? There's actually it's kind of dangerous actually. There's been a lot of crashes. I think I don't remember when, but from New Zealand or maybe Australia, I don't remember, but I think it was from New Zealand. So from New Zealand to Antarctica, there used to be this flight. Of course, it no longer exists. The route, and once they had, the pilot, he couldn't see. Like it was just purely white. It was a whiteout or something like that, and he couldn't like his radar or whatever fancy things that they have. It wasn't working, and so he crashed into a mountain. That's like so spooky, isn't it? So I would like to fly to Antarctica, but I'm also like spooked at the same time because it's like so dangerous. Are you scared? Oh yeah, of course. Are you scared of flying? Great question. I would actually say I am because it's a little bit creepy, like I still don't understand how planes work. Like to me, it just seems like I don't know. It's like, ooh, how does that work? I mean, and you always, I mean, do you remember MH370? Like that happened maybe like 10, 12, I don't know, years ago. And like, oh, that was so creepy because how does a plane just disappear? And whoa, I mean, I know that place, that region, in the Pacific, it's kind of risky anyway because the weather tends to be a little bit bad or whatever, something like that. But I'm always thinking, like, I think one of my biggest fears is dying or crashing into the ocean. Even when I use Google Maps, I get freaked out. So I never use the satellite view because it's spooky to look at the ocean. And it's also just like, what if something goes wrong? What if, it bursts into flames? So I have these. And again, I have a fear of heights anyway, so that kind of, compounds everything. Okay, let's go on to part 2. Okay, describe a garden or park you enjoyed visiting. You should say where was it, what did it look like, what did you do there, and explain why you liked it. Oh boy, this is actually so yeah, last I think it was last month or maybe I don't know in April, I don't remember. I guess it was last month. So I you know what's funny is we have this huge park right outside. Like I so my windows are windows, well the living room windows and the first bedroom's windows, they overlook this huge park, huge garden. And it was built, I think, maybe five or I don't know, it was probably built like 10 years ago. Um, and what's odd is we see it every single day. I see the park every single day, but I never went there. I don't know why. To when I tell you this right now, it makes no sense to me. Like, why did I never go there? It's huge. It's beautiful, and I was always thinking, I should go there sometime. I should go there sometime. And you wouldn't believe it. It's just a 5 minute walk from my apartment. A 5 minute walk, and I've never been there until last month, where I decided, okay, you know what, I should try walking early in the morning, and we have an amazing park. So I was like, great, I found the perfect reason to go there. So I finally went there, and I was surprised because it's actually much bigger than what I can see from my window. So I see a small part of the park, but it's actually much, much bigger because I don't know the size, but it's really, really big. And they've designed it pretty well. It's not like your average park with just green grass. It's actually designed so well. They have, the entrance, they have a little path, and you have all these different kinds of flowers everywhere. They've built like a jogging track. In fact, they've built like a bicycling track and a jogging track, and they have like a small, like space in the middle. Like it's kind of like it's covered so you can sit there. It looks kind of like a giant umbrella if I describe it that way. And then there's other, smaller like circles that they have for people who want to play, like I don't know, like basket, not basket. What's that thing called? Like football and stuff like that. So you can play football there as well. They have, little like spots. Like they have different regions in the park, and these regions they have like different type of foliage. They might have more flowers, or they even have like a section where you have like this kind of like a fence type of thing that's built out of like wood, and they have these seats that look like tree stumps. So it's very cool. It's actually I enjoy walking there because it's all like it's great for the senses. It's not just a flat patch of green. It's very different. Like sometimes you have grass, and then you have this little area where you have like an outside gym as well. You have they have these like machine, not really machines. They have like it's kind of it's very basic, of course, but they have for kids, they have seesaws and stuff like that. They have like the machines that you use for exercising your upper body and things like that. So it's all very like, I was surprised that, this place is 5 minutes away from home, and I never went there. It just seems so weird that when I think about it now. Of course, it started raining recently, so I don't go there anymore. I don't walk. In fact, I don't go out for a morning walk anymore. But yeah, as soon as it stops raining and we're back to our dry weather again, I'll definitely go there. It's a great place, and I feel like when the weather is good, when it's not like too sunny or something, I could even go there and work, because they've got, like I said, they've got seating arrangements and stuff like that. So it's like a nice place. It's like they even have this is funny, but they even have two dogs there, and they're very healthy dogs, by the way. Like that dog, the one of them, the black dog, he's very protective, like of the place. So anytime there's someone new, he'll start barking at them, and then he calms down finally. Uh, Once I was walking and I saw him, and he was doing his usual, he was guarding the place. And after some time, I couldn't see him. And turns out that, and then I was walking and I came across this patch of flowers, and he was sleeping underneath the patch of flowers. It was so cute. I even took a picture. So yeah, it's a nice place. I'll probably go there and maybe, I don't know, I mean, I could even work there. I work online, so it's a nice place. Okay, let's get on with part three. Do you think parks play an important role in a city? Yes, they do, because you need to, people need to have some kind of space outdoors that isn't necessarily like a mall or something like that, right? It can't just be commercial centers. You have to have open spaces for two reasons. Of course, people need to relax and people need to just enjoy nature as well. And, things like that. They have a lot of health benefits as well, like grounding, walking on grass, things like that. It's good for you. And of course, it's good to have green spaces for the environment as well. I mean, if you live in, a big city, it's all just, like concrete and glass and everywhere. And it's really depressing, if you encounter a patch or an area in a city where it's all just roads and buildings. It's on, to me anyway, it's very annoying. So if you break up that monotony with a nice green patch, or you have, public parks, again, it's good for children because they can play there too. People can meet each other there. It's a nice environment, nice place to uh, gather with people. Of course, you can, do that at home as well. But again, I mean, there had that people need options. It can't just be that there's only one option and that's it, right? So parks are important in that sense. Do you think parks affect the quality of air in urban areas? Well, yeah, of course, they have trees, they have grass, and we all know that trees and grass are important for the environment. That goes without saying. Even a kid knows that. So, and I think it's even been proven. I mean, if you don't have pockets of, green pockets of trees and green spaces, then you definitely, I mean, especially in a city, cities are already, sorry about that, cities are already very, they're not healthy. The air is bad, there's a lot of pollution. So if you combine that with a lack of green spaces, that'll just worsen the problem. That'll worsen the quality of air. So you need to combine, well, I mean, you need to counteract the problem of, being a city, right? A city, just the nature of it is such that it's going to be a polluted area. So you can help counteract that problem by planning more green spaces. Why are trees important? Oh, everybody knows why trees are important. Do I have to go over the fifth grade science stuff? Of course, they give out oxygen, they take in carbon dioxide. Isn't that what we learn at school? So I think that's okay. Of course, I mean that's important, but it's also just good to have a bit of a break, like when you go outside and everything is like buildings and concrete, vehicles, noise, all of this. That's very depressing. Personally, I find it very, very annoying. But if you have green cover, you have trees, like the place where I live is very leafy. We have lots of trees, and you look up and you see all these different types of green, all these different shades and tints of green that you never even thought of. It's just so beautiful. And of course, they're also homes for birds, right? So we have all these different birds, like depending on the season, depending on the weather, depending on the time of day, the birds sing, they build their nests. And of course, I mean, I don't know if you've heard of it, but I mean, sparrows, for example, have practically disappeared in most big cities. That's again because, where are they going to build their homes? So if you have trees, of course, they have the opportunity to build their homes, and we can also save a decent amount of bird species. So it's if you have fewer trees, of course, you're not gonna have as much. I mean, as many birds. You're gonna have issues with air pollution. In fact, here in my city, I think it's pretty much a law that if you chop down a tree, even if it's for like infrastructure projects, you have to replant a tree somewhere else in the city. I think that's a good move. Do you think green spaces and parks help people's mental health? Yeah, I mean, for me personally, yes, I would definitely say it's important because, again, it's nice to connect with nature. We have this huge forest. I think it's the continent's biggest forest, and it's maybe like 25 minutes away from where I live. And I've been there twice or something like that. Yeah, we've been there twice, and it's always just so, it's so much, well, it's fun, yes, but it's also, I don't know how to quite explain this, but you go there and your mind is at ease and your eyes see all of this. You have, the trees, the shades of brown, all the different shades of green. You have all the birds, you have like even bats, you have like monkeys, and you have well, it's a forest, so naturally it has wild animals. But you see that, oh my god, this is nature, this is the beauty of the planet, this is like, this is life, right? Nature is life. um I feel like it kind of does something to your soul. You go there, you spend time, if it's a park, if it's a forest, whatever you have, but you have to kind of be in touch with nature. It kind of helps you slow down a bit, appreciate what you have, and just kind of connect with, as I was saying, connect with nature, be in tune with nature, have some time, just in solitude, so you can collect your thoughts, you can think about things, you can have some peace and quiet. Well, not much quiet. I mean, birds are very noisy, but it's not, well, it's not noise, right? It's actually music. It's so beautiful to be there, and it helps to calm you down, especially if you live in a noisy city. Right, so that was that for today's test, but don't forget we have a lot of videos. So don't forget to check those out, and if you haven't subscribed already, do that. Just do that. It doesn't take any time or effort. And like the video if you found it useful, and if you have any comments, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below and I'll get in touch with you. All right then, I'll see you next time.